Ooh, Nvidia posted something new on Twitter. I wonder what it is. Okay. Nvidia social media manager, do you need to talk about something, you know? I'm here to help, whatever it is. Jokes aside, a lot has been coming out from Nvidia in the past few days. A lot of very questionable tweets, but also a lot of rumours about what RTX 3000 will be like. And one of them is so dumb, I just need to talk about it. Because recently it has been rumoured that new cards will have up to 16GB of VRAM, or maybe even 24, which is just absolutely insane and also absolutely dumb. And let me explain why. For a while now, Nvidia has bundled 11GB of RAM with their flagship card and then 8GB with their second best card. And that kind of model has been working out rather well, because that kind of VRAM is pretty much plenty for most people, especially with the 80 Ti cards. And those cards usually also have the clocks to really play games well at 4K. And those kind of games usually require a lot of VRAM. But even when you play a game in max settings at 4K, they don't even come close to saturating 11 gigs of VRAM, and instead the performance is bottlenecked by just the overall performance of the GPU. And already Nvidia has been having the problem of their really high-end cards becoming super expensive, so now if they were to bundle 16 gigs or even 24 gigs of VRAM, it'll be absolutely insane, especially if for whatever reason they decide to go with HBM2 memory, which is what AMD did with the Radeon 7. However, there are two different universes where I do kind of see this being a thing, and that all depends on whether or not the RTX 3090 is real. And recently rumours have been suggesting that unfortunately it's not, but we'll just have to wait and see. Because what they can do is keep the 3080 Ti as an 11 gig card, make it pretty much the flagship in everything but the title and what most people would go for, providing you absolutely insane performance even at 4K, with 11 gigs of VRAM being plenty for that, but then have an RTX 3090 with 16 gigs, and market that more at the prosumer side, more like this step down Titan card. And if people do want to buy the kind of card for gaming, of course it also comes with more cores and higher clocks than the 3080 Ti. And then on the really high-end prosumer side, we could have the Titan RTX 2, or whatever they're gonna call it, with 24 gigs of VRAM like we saw with the Titan RTX. So that would be the most ideal scenario if the 3090 exists. However, I can also see a way of them doing it if that card even doesn't exist. Another alternative way they could do it that would actually make sense is have the RTX 3080 have 11GB of VRAM, and basically have that card basically be seen as this flagship for most users who are mainly interested in gaming. And that theory does hold some ground for one main reason, because allegedly they're using the same GPU for the 3080 Ti and the 3080. That never happens with Nvidia. They always use a step down GPU for the 80 card compared to the 80 Ti. Now naturally, of course, they are probably gonna, clock down the 3080 compared to the 3080 Ti if they are using the same GPU, but that still shows one thing, because I think that maybe they're doing it to target the 3080 as this new 80 Ti card, this new flagship for most people, which would especially make sense seeing how ridiculously expensive the flagships are becoming. But then for the people who want to go even a step further on the prosumer side, or just people who want just the best no compromises gaming experience, they could have the 3080 Ti with 16GB of VRAM and higher clocks running on the same GPU as the 3080. That way they can pull all the bells and whistles off for the flagship, but they could still have a really decent supplement for it on the high end on the consumer side. And then of course have the Titan RTX 2 have 24 gigs of VRAM. But so it all comes down to two things. One, if the RTX 3090 exists, and two, how do they want to market the 3080 Ti this time around. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know what your theories are on how much VRAM these cards will have. I'm really excited to see what kind of performance we'll get. And hey, maybe talk to me about this on Discord. I'll have my Discord server link down in the description below. And down there you also find a link to my Patreon if you want to support the channel monetarily, because even $1 a month goes a long way in helping me make way better videos. And I guess that's really it, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all in what I make next. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye.